Hello, Accounting 1109. My name is Takesha Rhodes, and I'm your accounting instructor this semester. I'm going to do a quick walkthrough of Blackboard. I'm going to go over your grades, how to get to Connect, also how to navigate through the entire class on Blackboard. I hope that it helps. Let's get started. Okay, we're on the home page of your class. You'll know you're in the right class because at the top it'll say Welcome to Business Math Accounting 1109, as well as the same thing right here. This is your welcome. This is your home page. If you scroll down, you can see a little message I've left for you, as well as a direct link to your announcements. You want to make sure that you're checking your announcements on Mondays as well as throughout the week. Any announcement that I upload into Blackboard, I also send a copy to your C&M email. So if you don't have time to log in to Blackboard to see those announcements, you should also be getting a copy in your email. If we click here, it will take us over to the announcement tab. And here you can see for week 1, your very first announcement that I sent you for the class, explaining where you should be starting at, when your items are due, and then also this is a late start class. So we're doing the same amount of work in 12 weeks that you'd normally do in 15 weeks. So we're doubling up on the work some weeks. So you'll want to pay attention to your syllabus for that. Let's go ahead and go back to the welcome page. Over here to the left is your menu. All online classes should have a menu over to the left. And we're going to go through each area quickly just to help you navigate and get a good look at what Blackboard looks like for this particular class. Right here, if we click on syllabus and schedule, you will get a copy of your syllabus, which you can click here, okay, and it will download. There we go. And here's our copy of our syllabus. I'm going to bring it over. I have 2 screens, so I had to pop it over from the other screen there. We're going to go back. And then if we go back to syllabus, you can actually see your schedule. Here is the actual schedule. This is at the back of your syllabus, the last 2 pages. This schedule is very important. I always suggest to students to print this out. And every week as you complete your work, cross off what you've completed so that way you don't miss anything. So you'll see here this week it lists what's due. Once I was done with that work, I'd cross it off if I had printed it out. If you save it as an electronic file, you can still cross it off electronically. For next week, we'll have Chapter 4 Banking. I would also cross that off and cross the homework off after I completed that. Okay, so this is your schedule. Anything that's double blocked like this with colors means that you have an exam as well as a chapter homework due. Again, this goes into the 12-week class versus 15. So some weeks you will have exams and chapter homeworks due. And you'll see you have 3 weeks where that's due. So although you have the exam for the previous 2 chapters, you also will have homework due for the next chapter. So stay on top of that. Now we're going to go over to instructor information. This is information about myself. I have a picture and a little bit of information. Here are my office hours as well as the phone number and extension. You can leave me a message. And then over here, we have some course information for you. The most important thing is that there is no makeup work for this class. So make sure if you're going to be out for surgery or vacation, make sure that you plan ahead and you work ahead. You can work ahead on all of the homework. The only thing that you cannot work ahead on are exams and our project at the end of the class. So make sure that you plan ahead, okay? Over here is a direct link to McGraw-Hill, which is Connect, where you're doing your homework at. So this just takes you over there. You can log in with your email. Right here are your C&M email, and this is where you can email me. So you can email me directly through here, or you can go through cnm.edu and email me on your C&M email as well. And then here are your grades. I jumped ahead of myself a little bit there. Here you can see what you've turned in, what's coming up, what's been graded. Okay, so this is a good way to check your grades. I do want to give you a side note about Connect. Sometimes when you do work in Connect over here, it doesn't carry over to your Blackboard grade. So once a week, I go in normally on Sundays or either Monday morning and I upload whatever's in Connect into Blackboard. So if you have a 85 in Connect and Blackboard shows a 0, don't worry. I'm going to be updating that on Sunday evening or Monday morning when I come in. It's just sometime if you don't go through the C&M Blackboard link to get to Connect, like we just did earlier, it won't update the grades for you, so I have to manually do them. So don't freak out. If your grades are not there immediately in Blackboard, they'll be updated. But you do want to check them at least once a week to make sure after I send out the email saying I've updated the grades, that your grades are showing up here in the graded column. Okay, now we're going to go over to the learning module. This is the most important area. Okay, so this week you should have been starting here at the Start Here button, or you could have also accessed Start Here through here. Okay, either one works. Starting over here is a good idea because we want you to go over not only this information for the week, but also, if we go back, this information on Blackboard, especially if this is your first time taking the class. You want to go through this and read it and learn about Blackboard in online classes, okay? So we're going to go back to learning modules. You can complete your Start Here. Each of these areas you click on and it'll take you there, okay? Here's the syllabus again. You can also use these arrows to get back and forward from each area. You don't have to click on them, but that's your option. We're going to go back to learning modules. For next week, here's Chapter 4 learning module. You'll see you have Part 1 homework and Part 2 homework. You'll want to do both of those. You have to complete both parts to get your full points. Okay, so there's 2 parts to the homework. Same thing for the next chapter. We'll go back. Chapter 5, you've got the same thing. Okay. So you're going to want to spend your time in this learning module area doing your homework. I do want to show you Connect for just a second. I can see things in here that you can't because I'm the instructor. So these are your exams, which you can't see yet. But I want to go down to the actual chapters. And I want to show you this area right here that should be showing up in your Connect. This is actually like a review of the chapter. And so I do suggest that you start here and then you do the homeworks. In Blackboard, let's go to Chapter 4, you'll see you only have the 2 homeworks. In order to get to this part of Connect, you have to go through Connect to get to it. We don't put it in Blackboard because there were students who were getting confused. They were thinking this was homework and they weren't completing both of these. So your link in Blackboard only takes you over to the homework. If you want to do the review and the oversight of the chapter, there's no points for this. You don't get penalized if you don't do it, but you'll want to click on here, and it's a little book and it's on every chapter. And I would always start there after you've read through your chapter and go over that review, and we'll click on it. Okay, and it's just a reading assignment. It's just going to go over the chapter for the week. Okay, so it's going to take you through that chapter electronically. So remember, and we're going to go back, you can always get to that through Connect. You cannot get to it from Blackboard because we only have the homework linked in Blackboard because we don't want to confuse you. So every week you should be logging in, checking your announcements, also pulling up this wonderful syllabus and schedule and seeing what's due. Be very aware that there are weeks where you have an exam and a chapter due, and make sure that you're keeping up with that because this is a 12-week class versus a 15. And remember, everything that you're going to do is over here in the learning modules. Your exams are here, although they're not open yet for you. And then at the end of the class is your project, which will help you for the final, and that'll open up the week that it's due. But remember, you can always work ahead on your homework if you want to. If you have any questions or you run into any problems with Blackboard, please feel free to email me. And let's pull up my email for you again, which is right here. Or call and leave me a message. We can do whatever we need to do to help you through navigating and getting to what you need to in Blackboard as well as in Connect. Okay? Good luck this semester.